Morning and welcome to our service on this second Sunday of Lent, and of course FA Cup day, quarter-final day, which will happen later on in the afternoon.
A reverend announcing an FA Cup match between Everton and Middlesbrough is not a usual thing to experience in a church. But there is a very good explanation. This is the only church in the world that is literally placed in the corner of a football ground. It's placed right here, next to Goodison Park, the home ground of Everton FC. So who other than an Everton supporter would be perfect as a reverend in this church? And this man surely is an Everton supporter. But God comes first.
Certainly when I go to the match later on, people know that first and foremost, I am a Christian. That is most important in my life. Everton comes second, yes, after my family. But Christ is first and foremost.
32 years in the job, he is a dedicated Evertonian and a true blue. In fact, everything about him and this church is blue.
If you look around and you go into my vestry, you'll find my vestry is all blue. I've got the mouse mat for my computer is an Everton one. The carpet's blue. When I take a funeral for an Evertonian, I will wear a blue stole. On a match day, I will wear a blue collar and a shirt. So people know that I'm the Evertonian. Now that is a red diary because you can't get them in blue. So I actually cover it with a blue cover. You can see that's, you see, I can't get rid of that because it has to mark the place, but I don't mind squashing it inside the blue.
Red, the colour of Everton's biggest local rival, Liverpool, is a rare sight. The only red item in the church is the carpet on the floor, but there is a good reason for this.
People often say about my church carpets, "You're an Evertonian, why have you got red carpets?" Well, I always say, well, it's so we can walk all over them.
As a neighbour to Goodison Park, the church has a strong connection to the fans, both in this life and the next. Until recently, fans and former players could be buried in the field, right here. But too many layers of urns and ashes have put an end to this. But don't give up if you feel blue through and through and have a strong desire to be close to your favourite team, even when you are no longer here. Nowadays, fans and former players can be buried in the backyard of the church, right here, next to the pitch.
These three here are three former Everton players. Wally Fielding, Jimmy O'Neill and Brian Harris, again a very famous Evertonian. His ashes are here, so we've got three former players whose ashes are there.
Reverend Harry Ross has already chosen his own spot.
And my plot's over there. People say, "Why have you got one with your name on? You haven't died yet." So I said, well, that's where I'm going when I go, nearest to the church and nearest to the ground.
But for now, he goes to as many games as he can, and this FA Cup quarter-final is no exception. It's been more than 14 years since Everton's last FA Cup win in 1995. So tonight's match means a lot to him and to the fans.
Oh, it means everything to us because it means that for the first time under David Moyes, our manager, that we're going to actually get to the, hopefully, to the semi-finals and then to the finals. That would be marvellous to do that.
Finally, it's time to head off for the stands to support the Blues, both the present and the former ones. After an intense match at Goodison Park, Everton beat Middlesbrough 2-1, and they are now ready for the semi-finals at Wembley.
I thought, we're not going to make it. Second half, completely different team, playing for each other, fighting for the ball, and it was a real cup tie. And at the end, biting our fingernails because we thought they were going to lose it at the end, but we didn't. We kept going right to the end and won. And now we're looking forward to going to Wembley.